Oh God, I'm gonna die. I gotta get this on camera. No! No!
Hey everybody, welcome to the Marino Show. I'm your host, David Marino. Today I'm speaking to Ryan Smith. He's the owner of Alter Ego Creations. He does special effects for a number of films and productions, specifically horror films, which you know are my favorite. He's also working on a series called The Narrator, where he's writing and directing. We'll dig into all of that. Ryan, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
So, Ryan, I know that you work a lot in the Strange Film Studios universe, which is how I come to know you, working on, um, many films with August Aguilar and his dad, Frank, both producer, directors. Tell me how you got into the special effects world.
I got into the special effects actually through Walking Dead. I saw one of their episodes, and I just thought it was incredible to see that how those types of things were done. So I watched a YouTube tutorial from Greg Nicotero, who does all their special effects, and he pretty much explained how you can do a lot of these things. If you're at a low budget, um, using household materials, cotton balls, Q-tips, and I kind of started playing around with that, and I started absolutely loving it because of the things that you can create with these things. And then, your arsenal gets better, your artistry gets better over time, and that's just kind of how I've been able to grow from there.
What was the first film that you worked on with doing special effects? Because it wasn't too long ago that you got into doing this, right?
Yeah, 2018 was Cindy's birthday with Strange Films, and that was my first film that I did.
And tell me about the special effects on that film and kind of what you had to do and kind of what that experience was like for the first time doing it for an actual film.
I had butterflies in my stomach the entire time when they called me and asked me to do this. It was the first movie I ever did. It was the first gig I've ever got, and I was petrified. I didn't have that much confidence in myself at the time because I just got started, and I had this great opportunity, and the makeup called for that, and was a kid getting his face slashed open. So I practiced, and did all these trial runs, and some of them failed, but without failure, what else are you going to do? So I failed numerous times, and then after a while, I didn't think I was gonna be able to do it. And then when I got on set, it just like something hit me, and I was just like, this was meant to be. I was meant to be here, and I gained all this confidence from it. And I had the kid was I think Dylan was 8 or 7, and he sat in this chair for 2 hours while this beginner did his best to do this makeup, and it's still one of my favorite makeup scenes that I've ever done.
So you started with Cindy's birthday and you've had a really deep connection with Strange Film Studios because now you've been working on, you've worked on a number of their films, right? Including some of the latest. I went to see the premiere of The Gifted in March in Las Vegas earlier this year, and you were there shooting the prequel, Barb and Vic, and you were doing the special effects for that.
Yeah, so I did the special effects for The Gifted, and when they told me they wanted me to come back out, they said, you're our guy. we want you to come and do the makeup out in Vegas for the prequel for Barb and Vic. And I was just like, absolutely. And anybody that knows me about strange films, August and Frank, they gave me my first job. So I am loyal to them guys forever for giving some kid an opportunity to really express his artistry form and bring these visions that I had to life. And I absolutely love those guys with the bottom of my heart.
I am always fascinated by people who do special effects or do art in any way because, you know, we were talking before, I can't even draw like a heart. I'm horrible. But it's awesome to see that creative world because I admire it so much and I know it takes a lot of work. For you, being a person who's doing it, how did you find that outlet or come to, I know you said for The Walking Dead, you kind of, that got you interested in it, but what has it meant for you to have this outlet in terms of creating and on a day-to-day basis, what does that do for you as a person?
I missed a little bit of that. You kind of froze up and your screen went
Okay.
black.
Can you hear me now? Are you good? Can you see me and everything?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right, I'll start over. I'll ask that again. So for you in your everyday life, how has being a special effects, you know, creator kind of helped you? What has it meant to have this outlet to throw all your creative energy into?
It's been a great expression like that of what I've been able to do, but I really do this for my daughter. She's a love of my life, and she's really big into art right now. And she always tells me that's what she wants to be when she grows up. So every time that I go to set, every time that I pick up a brush, anytime that I pick up a sculpting tool, I really think of her because she's what drives me to do these things. And also her seeing me do this and the passion that I have in it, I think instills in her confidence that, you know, my dad's able to do this and he's happy doing it. So forget about this 9 to 5 that people, you know, break their butts doing every single day. If I can show my daughter that you can do your dream and love what you do, I think that's what really that's the only thing that matters, is showing her that you can really push yourself and go above and beyond in your craft.
So has your daughter joined you in creating anything?
Yes, she helped me actually on 2 projects. One that I just finished yesterday. But I'll start with the first project that I did. It was I did a college students were doing a project on me. It was about people with interesting jobs. So I did a tutorial that my daughter helped me with on how to apply makeup correctly versus beginner, intermediate, and expert. And my daughter helped me with that one. And she tried to be the main star of it, but and then the second one is she actually helped me airbrush the bodysuit and mask for for the Toxic Avenger musical that's going to be held in New Jersey in South Camden Theater.
Oh, wow. I think I saw that on your Instagram channel. So you're actually working on the special effects for that show?
Yeah, so actually I dived into monster making. My friend Justin Bennett, people definitely check him out on Instagram, but he actually helped guide me through how to make a 2-part mold, instilled some confidence in me on becoming a monster maker. So not only do I do special effects, but now I also I can create masks for films, for shorts, for pretty much anything now. So it's again, like I said earlier, like you can expand your range so far. There's so much to learn, and you learn something new every day.
And all of this sort of has a common theme in terms of the type of work that you're doing in the genre of horror. You know, as you can see behind me, you can see Jason right here. And I love horror movies, my favorite thing in the world. What is it about that genre that has attracted you in the work that you do? Why do you love that so much?
Um, I I love it so much because it's it's scary and you don't know what's going to happen. I feel like in action movies, comedies, you know what the punchline is going to be. You know what the action hero is going to do. In horror films, what I always found is that I didn't know when a jump scare was coming. I didn't know when Michael Myers was going to run through a wall and kill somebody. Like it was always unexpected, and I think that's what's different about horror is that it's not just your run of the mill regular type of stuff, and that's what I absolutely love about indie films. Indie horror right now, if indie horror is where it's at right now. Like, and there's so many great artists out there, and the indie film makers right now, and it's incredible. I know a couple that are just killing it right now. Chris Bell, Jack Perry, August Aguilar. Like these guys are what you call like down here grinding, and definitely people check them out. They're grinding.
I'd even say in the mainstream world, in terms of horror, that a lot of the successful in the recent years, the successful horror movies have come more from the independent studios like A24 or Neon. And I love seeing
Yep.
that. And I love seeing, indie like what you're doing. And because I feel like that is where you can be creative and free. There's not as many restraints, you can kind of take chances
Yeah.
and yeah, how do you feel about that? Do you agree with that?
I totally agree with that. I think that is like it's a perfect way that you put it is how to explain it. It's like you're free, you have the rights to your art, and there's all these types of websites out there like Indiegogo. You can put your information out there and have people that are interested in donating and can actually bring your budget up to really make something unique, and you can keep it all your same ideas, and you can bring these creative young beginners vets that have the same passion that you do, and you can bring them on board and have this great team for a great project. And I think that's what's very unique about indie film. Everybody's there to see the others succeed, and they're there to see you on your way. And indie film horror is killing it right now, killing it.
And speaking of that, you're working on an exciting project. You worked on sort of like the kind of pre leading up to the movie. There's a movie that it's not out yet. I think August hasn't shared it yet. Aguilar with Strange Film Studios, but Piglet Rising is sort of a precursor to Piglet. And Piglet is this really exciting project that you're involved in, and you did the makeup for Piglet Rising. But can you talk to me about Piglet? Because I know there's probably not a ton you can say about the movie, but that's a really cool project that's going to be coming out, I guess, next year. But what is your involvement in that going to be?
So my involvement, actually, I was told in Vegas when I was working on Barb and Vic with August. He, kept it on the hush hush, but was like, but now we could talk about it. But at the time when he told me, it was just like, yeah, I got this great opportunity. I want to see if we can get it, and if so, I'm going to bring you on board. So he brought me on board, and he wants me to kind of be the head of SFX. So kind of oversee all the gruesome kills that we have coming, which is it's it's some tricky, crazy stuff that's going to come. I don't want to tell you because I it's not that I was sworn to secrecy, but it's just I don't want to give it away because these are like really unique kills, not the general run of your mill type of kills. These are outside of the box type of stuff.
Well, that's exciting to hear. I love that. Yeah, I don't want you to share that because I want the audience and myself, when I see it, to be surprised by what you're doing. And this film, Piglet, it's gotten a lot of publicity
Yeah.
already in different, different horror publications specifically. Um, And it seems like this is a little bigger of a budget too, right? I know it's still indie, but this is a more ambitious project, it seems.
Yeah. So originally, what the plan was, Piglet Rising was actually just supposed to be um, Piglet, and we were just doing a trailer. That was it. That's what I was coming down, and then we were so excited about the project. Kevin and August and Kelly, they were so excited. Kelly wrote a short film for it, and so we had to bring it down a little bit to make it a prequel, and that's where that came into effect. And like you said, it was getting so much buzz, and so many people were attracted to the idea of Piglet and this whole new take on it. Not like the Blood and Honey. This is a whole new take. You've seen it. The makeup that I did for it is it's a different take, and I absolutely loved it. But um, because of that, and because of all of the good feedback we got about it, we decided to push it back to next year to really get more people involved and to get a better budget to really give it the the true, I guess, vision that it deserves. Because this is, I'm pretty sure I could say this, but this is just the beginning. Just the beginning.
And your special effects for Piglet Rising were so good. I loved
Oh, thank you.
loved it. Loved it. It was gruesome, and I thought it was just awesome. Like I love the kills, but I like Piglet. I really loved the makeup. It kind of gives me a little bit, and I don't like to compare too much, but just to get to give the audience sort of a frame of reference, it has that Texas
Yeah,
Chainsaw Massacre vibe. It's not a Texas Chainsaw Massacre film, but it's got that vibe and that same sort of like that gritty, just that feel. And I love that when it comes to horror. I just love that like dirty, gritty. I think you
yeah.
were involved in it.
That's pretty much like August's thing. Like he's gritty, man. He gets some sick shots. But when Kevin brought the idea, wrote everything down, and then August brought it to me, and I read it. That's literally what they wanted to do. Kevin and Kelly, who wrote it, they told me, they're like, "Hey, we really want to pay homage to all the classics, and especially Texas Chainsaw Massacre." And I think we did it in our own way that paid homage to him, but also made this an original character.
So you have an extensive background in special effects. You've been building up your resume over the last several years with the films that you've been doing. And then you have, as we mentioned, Alter Ego Creations, which is what you've named, your sort of company. But you've now moved into writing and directing, and that's in the form of a series called The Narrator. Can you tell me about The Narrator and how that came about, and really how you decided to kind of take a different direction and go more into writing and directing?
So how it came about, I was 13 years old, and in my yearbook, I wrote that I wanted to be a filmmaker, and it always stuck in the back of my head. So every time that I do special effects, I've learned something new. If it was working with August or a different filmmaker, I've always stood behind them and just watched how it was done. I didn't go to school for it. I didn't take that opportunity to do that. But I figured since I was there, I would learn from other great artists and other great directors. So that's really how over the years it just kind of started coming back to me, and like, wow, like I really had this passion. I've always had a passion for writing, but I really had this passion to get behind the camera and grind it out, and have it on your shoulder and get in there and get that shot. And I did that a few weeks ago for our first episode of The Narrator, and I'm not like I said earlier, like I teared up on when that shot was over. I teared up on set. I had to walk away because it was a surreal moment that I was able to do that. Um, you know, I'm thinking I was a 13-year-old kid again. I had this dream, and Yes, it's a low budget film, but it's a dream that I've always had, and I was able to um, kind of make that happen. But sorry, I mean, I know you answered the question, so I'll get into the narrator though. Sorry.
No, don't apologize at all. I loved hearing that because it's so important. I think the message that I want people to take away from that, or people hearing this, is that it's so important not to give up on your dreams and what you've always wanted to accomplish. I know you mentioned earlier, we all get caught up in our 9 to 5 jobs, but what I found even doing this show is that I started doing this because I needed my outlet outside of work that had to do with me interviewing. I was in news and for a long time, but I wanted to get back into doing something. And I think often people forget that passion, or they don't forget, but they get so consumed with the everyday thing in life. It's so important to tap into your
Hmm.
passions, because that really does feed your soul and it makes you happier, a better all around person, I think, when you can do that.
Absolutely,
And so for you to be able to kind of
I
see that
totally
in the
agree.
yearbook, to see that in your yearbook and to come back full circle, that is a moment. So yeah,
Well, here.
I'm happy that you're able to do that. But what is the premise of The Traveler, or the
Okay,
narrator?
so
Narrator.
the narrator. No, you're fine. The Traveler is the first episode. There's multiple episodes, but um, the narrator is a horror anthology series. And it kind of weaves together eerie, timeless stories of urban legends and dark folklores that I created myself. They're all original characters. And at the center of each episode, there's one character that holds everything together, and that's the narrator. She's a mysterious being who has roamed, kind of Earth for centuries, collecting and sharing terrifying tales of those that she's encountered. And from the haunting woods of Norse legends from one of the episodes to the to villages of the Carpathian Mountains, which is in another episode. The narrator brings these creatures and myths to life, kind of reminding us that the more people hear these stories, the stronger they become. Each episode kind of explores, a new legend, blending horror, history, and a sense of unease that kind of lingers long after the tale is told. And I think that's what's a little bit different of it, but kind of like I'd say also with like a mix of suspenseful storytelling and visuals and a touch of the supernatural. So the narrator really invites viewers into a world where ancient myths are more real than they seem, and darkness is always just a whisper away.
When are you planning to put that out, and where will people be able to see it?
Well, we just shot our first episode. Our second episode will be shot in Philadelphia in October. The third episode will be shot in Tennessee, and then the final episode will be shot in New Jersey. So we're hoping to have that out before the new year. The whole series was I'm hoping to have out before 2025.
Now, because you're writing, directing, are you doing special effects on this too, or is it kind of just a different type of? Are you doing all of it?
Yes, yeah. I'm
What
really
is?
pushing myself for this one.
I was gonna just ask, what has that been like now? Kind of, you're doing the special effects and you're writing and you're directing. Is it just overall fun, or is it? I mean, everything can be stressful, but what has the experience been like being able to fuse all of that together?
It's been different, from being on set for the past 6 years, just doing special effects. Yeah, it's easy, come in, I put my feet up, do some makeup, and then I'm done for the day. But it's been a different animal. Like I've learned that first episode, I learned so much. I learned what I'm capable of doing, where I should delegate, and where I need to become stronger. So I think it was an amazing and learning experience. Um, we're not 100% all the time. So, and I think another big thing is to anybody that's out there, a beginner, surround yourself with amazing people, a great crew, people that have the same vision as you, people that have the same attitude as you, that bring that type of energy that's really going to uplift your project. And that's also something that I learned too. And I feel blessed for the people that were part of that project and the team that I have surrounded around me. I think I think we're really making something special. It's different, but it also has a little bit of touch of, Creep Show, a little touch of Twilight Zone, American Horror Story. It has all these great classics, and again, they're all creatures that my sick mind came up with and created, and then I'm able to bring them to life, which is so surreal too, because now these creatures, monsters, supernatural beings, Norse legends. I like these things that I've wanted to create for a long time. I'm able to bring to life now, and it just so happens that I feel like I'm a good storyteller, and I've been able to write these great stories, and people are excited to get themselves attached to it.
What's your ultimate like goal? Like, what else do you want to accomplish while you're doing this?
I really just want to. I want to give people the opportunity to express their artistry. So I think that's another reason why I'm doing this. I've just from one episode alone, like I put out other feelers for casting calls, and I've got about 20 to 50 people that are interested. But I think that's really what the end goal for me is. It's not about getting famous or doing any of this. I mean, I'm very comfortable with where I am in my life. I got an amazing daughter who, like I said, is the love of my life. I absolutely love her. So, I mean, it's really all about just having the opportunity to do this. This is what I love. Having this conversation with you, waking up and, putting some trauma on someone's face. But I think at this point now, it's really giving other people the opportunity to succeed. Just believe in yourself, believe in the product that you're selling, which is yourself. That's number one. Believe in yourself. That's what you have to do every single day that you're in this industry. And when you're believing in yourself, that's when you start having a lot of confidence in yourself to start networking and express to people what your passion is and what your project is. And I'm telling you, to everyone that's listening, that's a beginner, your energy can be felt by any director, any writer. I promise you that. Like, they pick up on that. So if you have the passion to want to learn, more about editing, be it AD, work on lighting or audio, just make sure you have that positive energy and know that you're not going to know anything that first day as a beginner. You're not. But that's when you ask the questions. Don't be afraid to, and network and meet people that you don't want to meet on a regular basis.